Hello there, what is up? This is Dillian and welcome to Geographica News. This is the new map. I'll be coloured in some countries. This is basically the spheres of influence for the Geographica. So yeah, please remember to like, sub, comment. I will reply to every comment. Share if you love it. Share it, please. Now let's get into the video. Alright, let's start with like obvious allies and /all colonies. Britain has got a few loads, so I'll start with them. And go yank, 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 yank. Then Russia has one. Here. There isn't really much left actually with those. Oh no, there's the Baltics, which I named as a superpower. Yeah, you can sort of see them on the map here. Over here, what I'm thinking is there isn't really much left. Is there? Yeah, wow. So now it's yeah, that loads of countries are independent. So that sort of changes things. I'll name into some the new sort of influence spheres. I took a bit of research and I learned that a few that this sort of country and around here has got a huge influence sphere. The Carpathic Empire that has this, the Holy Romans, and Odessa, and then I changed Byzantines to purple since Russia became communist, which is another sort of obvious ally. I'll call it an ally there. And Byzantines there, and a British Empire here. So yeah, so we've already covered half the map. Let's go with the. Oh, I think that's a good thing. Okay. A few major countries, I think, would be the Baltics has got a few leaners. They've got this country here, which sort of leans them because they sort of share the same sort of ideals. They have Finland because it leans to them because they share the same sort of ideals again. Over to the rest of... Oh yeah. The Byzantines are actually allied to Syria, which is also pretty big. And Britain... I didn't name Zoomers as a superpower simply because they don't have any political capital. Like, they have wars, yeah, but those are just them just bullying minor nations around. Like, they don't really have any, big man wars, really. So, you know, that's what, they don't really fight against anyone who's bigger than themselves. They just pick on the dudes who are smaller than them. That will end when they fight against the Byzantines, but yeah, they don't have any political capital. Nobody likes them. It would be boring if I just put them there and just like nothing else. And the Zoomers have a few islands which are important. Which are here and then Islamic Bosnia has some lands as well, which I forgot to address. Oh yeah, they have an ally. They have an obvious ally, which I should have named earlier. I think, you know, there's a whole bunch of countries that live along these sort of areas. I'm gonna go as fast as I can because Okay, so yeah, you can see there's a whole bunch of minor nations that I pointed out around here that I colored in. Belarus had a war with Russia, and so that means they sort of share the same sort of ideals as the Carpanathics in the belief that in the fear of Russia. They're definitely both very fearful of Russia, and Russia's sort of dislikes them. Other than that, I can say a whole bunch of major countries which I named as like, oh yeah, which ones? I don't know where they go earlier on, but now like you see with the Baltics and stuff, they're both Christian, so. The Baltics is atheist monarchy, but it has very close to Christian sort of ideals. So I'm gonna place, and there's no other country that is a major power that is Christian. So I'm gonna put in the ADB leans this country here, and Ordem de Cristo as well. I'm not completely sure about those calls, but yeah. I also think the Archduchy of... I also think some minor nations might go to them, but I'm not completely sure. I think these countries up here will stay neutral because they're so disconnected from everything. This country will stay neutral because it's bordered by multiple different influence spheres. And this one will stay neutral because it's disconnected from everyone. What's next? Where's next? The Dutch. And I think that's gonna be the Dutch are like very influential, and they have loads of different allies, but I think like it's still sort of small, mainly because it doesn't have that many active players. Like most of their players are less active. Like it doesn't really have many active players after the first day, which meh. So I'm gonna give it a so since it's proximity to Britain and it's still allied to Britain, I'm gonna give it a tilt Britain here. So out of all these, this is a really colorful map here, and I'm not really sure about any of these countries around here. So yeah, so there's all the countries, there's all the Philly ups. Oh wait, this one is also allied to there because it's a Syrian puppet. That's really it. Wow. Yeah, and powers, if there isn't a power, like on the first day, alright, there was powers. And those powers, there wasn't like that many like variety in powers, and now there's a really big variety, from the Carpanathics to the British to the Spanish to the Baltics to the Russians. There's about loads of different ways, loads of different countries that each have influence over minors. I do not know who the biggest power is here because, like Britain has across the board, but so many nations have like such a really good defensive position here, such as the Baltics sort of control the whole sea, the whole Baltic Sea here, and the Carpanathics control like everything north of them, basically, except for, they're mainly like leans. But, you can see, yeah, like very big countries, they're sort of within their sort of sphere. So, yeah, well, that's really interesting stuff. I'll probably cut loads of this. So, yeah. Like